A Minnesota woman is in trouble for refusing to pay her taxes for at least the last 7 years. Her defense? Her defense is that she is a resident of the kingdom of heaven, and therefore not subject to our mortal taxes. The woman, Tami M, and her husband, Dennis, are being charged with obstruction of IRS laws and 15 counts of filing false tax returns. They allegedly haven't paid income taxes on their business between 1998 and 2005. Now, the IRS has actually notified Dennis back in 2005 that he owed taxes from 2003 plus penalties and interest. Now, the defense that Tami used is that their supposed citizenship of the, quote, kingdom of heaven pretty much blocks them from being taxed. Oh, we're not residents of the United States. We live in heaven. You can't tax us. And oddly enough, this couple isn't the only people that claim this. Apparently there's a group called the Embassy of Heaven Sovereign Citizens Group. And they issue, get this, they issue passports, driver's licenses, and license plates. And they can do that because they claim to be a religious organization and therefore cannot be regulated. Now this group claims that its followers are not subject to government jurisdiction because their allegiance rests with Jesus. Unsurprisingly, many of its members have been charged with tax avoidance schemes and issuing certificates of so-called self-insurance. Now, the leader of this group denied that the Embassy of God sold them these certificates, claiming its members saw only the assurance of the Lord. He also added that we don't operate in Minnesota, we operate in the kingdom of heaven. Awesome. What do you guys think about this?
Okay. I am, for one, you know, the federal income tax on your wage and labor, I'm not the only one, is deemed unconstitutional. But is this woman, you know, these people seeking some form of government handout or welfare for having the mental capacity of a freaking child or something? What the fuck?
They apparently co-own a successful business and have been making thousands and thousands of dollars from their customers.
So they're not even sovereign. They're selling condos in supposedly in the fucking they're reserving condos in the netherworld. Is that where you're going with this?
They run an excavation business, and they don't want to pay their taxes. I think what it comes down to, in my opinion, is that this is just a lazy way of saying, I don't want to pay my fucking taxes, so I'm going to make up some bullshit.
Allow me to point out the thing that nobody else will on this panel. They're supposedly citizens of heaven, but they run an excavation business, which obviously, if you dig far enough, you will end up in hell. Think about it.
Fascinating.
Well, I mean, like, just these people they're just fucking idiots. I hate a number of people, and these people are quite easily fit into my hate category. You know, they're saying, oh, we're not American citizens, we're citizens of the kingdom of heaven. Well, you know, yes, prove that exists, and of course that's not a real place, at least for most rational people. But you're going to be using the roads, you're going to be using public services. I'd like to hope at least that their kids, if they have any, are going to public schools and aren't being homeschooled, because then I'd really kind of fear for the well-being of those kids if they're just being taught about the kingdom of heaven. And if they're not American citizens, then they probably haven't taken a citizenship test. They're probably illegal immigrants then. Well, then you can get your ass deported to your kingdom of heaven. It's just ridiculous. Like, this is a sort of tax evasion. Yes, you should look after the tax evasion of corporations and stuff, but for individuals, I really hope that kind of the IRS comes down hard on these people and gets all of that money back, because kind of their local community and the federal government, people have been negatively impacted because there's never enough money to go around to fund services, and these people have been a contributing factor to that. And I know it's only, you know, a couple of £100,000 or whatever that they owe in taxes, but I think another amazing fact about this entire story is that at least the and the woman in this case, she's gotten away with it for 7 years, and she's been claiming, oh yeah, I'm a member of the Kingdom of Heaven. Why has this been allowed to go on for so long? If she writes, maybe 1 year or 2 year, and she gets away with it, but why has it gone on for so long? It's insane. This story.
This is the only time when my legal expertise might come into effect. You are actually only obligated to keep tax returns for 7 years, so she could have been doing this much longer. It's just the IRS can't subpoena records for individuals beyond 7 years, so she could have been getting away with this for a very long time. I'm actually in favor of this woman because I hate the IRS so much. Like, even though I don't agree with what she said and she's a scammer, I think her scam is hilarious. I'm not a fan of the IRS at all. And whenever when I see the third Thor movie, I'm going to say I'm a Viking and refuse to pay the tax because I'm worshiping my god on screen. Think about it.
Jeez.
I like how I say something stupid and he's like following my logic, and then I just drop the hammer, Thor's hammer, and something stupid, and he just reacts so poorly.
It's just sometimes, man, I can't handle it. It's just so much dumb being directed in my direction, and I'm almost dumbfounded by the dumb.
Well, the thing is as well is that there seems to be a certain mindset, and these people fall into this category that their religion or their beliefs trumps everything else. That's the only thing that matters, and don't have to care about the government, don't have to care about anything else. My religion trumps everything. No, the whole point of America was that religion and everything like that doesn't take precedent. That's the whole reason that you left the UK, because there was this kind of religious and the king and all of that sort of stuff. I can't really use the insult saying these are the most un-American people in the country, because they don't consider themselves American, evidently. If you ask them, I certainly hope they don't say, oh yeah, we're real patriots. If they do, then I put them on a category on the stupidity level lower than Louis Goma if they're claiming something like that.
But here's the thing, too, is that they don't have to claim something ridiculous, because, once again, I'm on the mindset is that they're not completely stupid. I think they're sort of stupid, right? But there are so much better ways if you want to not pay your taxes. In fact, you could incorporate yourself and then hide your money in the Cayman Islands, just like the wealthy do.
The guy selling the Heaven driver's license is a fucking genius.
You see, well, yeah, you can pretty much, if you're good enough, you could pretty much sell anything, because there's always somebody stupid enough to buy it. Jordan.
Yeah, all right, so I guess obviously I'm going to approach the asinine nature of this story from the religious angle, but I do want to throw in a few secular points as well about how stupid this is. By the way, the religious angle will also show how stupid this is. It's not like I'm going to defend this person. Yeah, okay, so you're not a citizen of America or whatever, so you shouldn't pay taxes. You're a citizen of the Kingdom of Heaven. So as someone who also considers himself a citizen of the Kingdom of Heaven, or Kingdom of God, depending on which gospel you're reading, Matthew or Luke, if you're talking to Gentiles or Jews, yada, yada, yada.
Details.
I assume that you're not voting, because that's a right of a U.S. citizen, not a Kingdom citizen. I assume that you don't own a firearm, because that's a right afforded to you by the United States Constitution, not anything in Scripture. I assume that you will be hiring a lawyer to defend you, maybe in a trial by a jury of your peers. Except I should say I assume you won't be, because that's a right afforded to you as a citizen of the United States of America, not as a citizen of the Kingdom of Heaven. Do I need to go on? I think you'll get the point. So obviously these are people who want to have their cake and eat it too.
These guys are illegals, and what does Obama do to illegals? Oh yeah, he tosses them out. He actually has one of the highest deportation records of a U.S.
So where
president.
do you deport these guys to? The Vatican? I don't know where you deport them to.
That's true.
Because the kingdom of heaven is about reign, not realm. But that's a theological discussion. Anyway, so let's approach this from the Christian angle.
Wait, hold on. You can't even deport them back to heaven because NASA doesn't make rockets anymore.
Fail.
We'll talk later, Sean. All right. So there's taxes are mentioned 3 times in the New Testament, and I want to go over these 3 times. 2 of them by Christ, 1 by the Apostle Paul. We'll start with Paul in Romans 13. I'm just going to quote him. Pay everyone what is owed. Taxes to whom taxes are due. Revenue to whom revenue is due. Respect to whom respect is due. Honor to whom honor is due. I don't know how much more simple you can get than that, but actually, all right, so whatever, you don't want to listen to Paul, let's listen to Jesus, who's the king who's, filthy, you seem to be claiming absolves you from taxes. There's a point where the Pharisees are trying to trick Jesus, and you get into a lot of historical context here where they're trying to either catch Jesus on breaking Roman laws or Jewish laws, because whichever one he breaks, they can get him on and turn the people against him. And so the Pharisees say, hey, teacher, we know you speak and teach correctly. You show no partiality and teach the way of God in accordance with what's true. Is it right for us to pay tribute to Caesar or not? And again, you're getting into Jewish laws versus Roman laws here and how they kind of conflicted. And Jesus gets what's going on. He knows they're trying to trap him. And he says, show me a denarius. Whose image and inscription are on it? And they say, Caesar's. The same thing is true in America. We stamp United States on all our currency. We put our president's faces on it. They say, Caesar's. So he said to them, then give to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. Meaning, your money is not even part of, it has nothing to do, it's not yours. This is something that belongs to the government. Like, you be a good citizen, pay what you want to pay, because in the Christian worldview, money is this fleeting thing that goes away, and the love of money is the root of all evil. All you're trying to do is not pay your money, which means you're loving your money, and you're just putting a religious dress on it. And then the only other time Jesus talks about taxes, I won't quote this one, I know we need to move on, but basically there's another example where they try to confront him, and Jesus tells Peter, hey, pay your taxes. So there's 3 times that the New Testament mentions taxes, and all 3 of those times can be broken down. The first 2, the first and last one I mentioned specifically, are broken down to pay your taxes. There is a more theological message to the second one about the image of God and giving to Caesar's, but there is also an aspect of pay your taxes. So these people, they don't have a leg to stand on. This is just people, like you said, it's a lazy way of not paying taxes, period.
Yeah, so don't be stupid, pay your taxes.
Yeah, my final point is that, I mean, quoting the Bible, especially for these people, is just pointless, because people pick and choose what they want to pay attention to in the Bible. But if these people are just kind of, they're saying, oh yeah, we're members of the kingdom of heaven, so we don't have to pay our taxes, wink, wink, sort of thing, then fine, they're playing the system, and I hope the IRS comes down hard on them. But if they genuinely believe that they're not American citizens, that they are a member of the kingdom of heaven, then I hope the IRS comes down on them even harder, because then they're even stupider people if they genuinely believe that that there's some member of heaven they don't have to pay taxes. That's even worse.